Good evening, everybody, wherever you are calling in from. Nina and myself are in the UK, but let me know in the comments where you're from. If you're from the UK, let us know whereabouts. If you're from somewhere else, let us know. Love to see where people are tuning in from. So my name is Danny Wells, and I have the privilege tonight of interviewing Nina Smith. Now, before we let Nina talk, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So Nina is part of the team, and she's literally about to promote to area manager, which is halfway to the top of this company. So there's only 4 levels, and she is about to complete level 2, which is very exciting. So Nina is a mum. She's got 2 gorgeous children, and then her partner Wayne as well. So Nina's got lots of things that she's going to share with us tonight. And I'm just going to start firing away, Nina. Is that okay?
Yeah, crack on.
Okay, so I have been blessed. We've known Nina for a few years now. We connected because we've both got children with additional care needs and had very similar stories with our daughters in their early days. But Nina, if you could tell everybody a little bit about your background, so what you sort of did before you were a mum, and then your story going up to being a mum, and then needing to find something that you could do to work from home and around them. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. So I used to work for a London-based estate agency in property management. I'd been with this company for almost 10 years. So I was working my way through the ranks and, promoting through, just doing your usual climbing the ladder in your business. And I did enjoy it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't jump out of bed with excitement in the mornings, but I enjoyed it. I loved the people I worked with. So I was relatively happy and comfortable. Then I was pregnant with Evie, and I was about to go on maternity leave. I think I was about 4 weeks shy of going on maternity leave when Evie actually made an appearance. So she came along very early. I had no maternity leave, prior to having her. Evie was born very, very early, which took us away from home for 6 weeks. We had to get transferred to a specialist hospital where she spent 6 weeks of her life. So I was away from home, away from friends, and away from family. So it was really, really difficult time. And then luckily everything was great. Evie pulled through. She's such a little fighter, a little miracle. We came back home and we were about to start just normal family life together. And I was really, really looking forward to it. About 3 months after being home, so Evie would have been about 5.5, 6 months old, I found out I was pregnant with Cooper. So I fell pregnant whilst on maternity leave. So I ended up having a double whammy maternity leave, which was quite funny. And I kind of knew that realistically for me to go back to work would be really, really hard. So to put one child into childcare is so expensive, but to do 2 is just ridiculous. I'd be working to pay someone else to raise my kids. And also at the time, we weren't aware that there were any care needs that Evie had yet. So she was obviously still quite tiny. She was still delayed in her development. And then sort of towards the end of my maternity leave, when I was starting to make plans as to what on earth to do going forward, it became apparent that there was something not quite right. Evie wasn't hitting her milestones. There was a lot of questions being asked, a lot of fears and worries, and we started the whole hospital process. And I knew, in a week I was having about 5 appointments for her, and I just wasn't employable. No one was going to take on a mum with 2 young kids who needed constant time off, and I worked quite far from home, a good hour and a half travel each way. So it wasn't just a case of nipping in and out of work or, getting other people to take the kids to hospital appointments, because, when your child needs you, you want to be there for them. So we made the decision that I wouldn't go back to work, and that I would maybe try and find a work from home, something admin related on the computer. And it's kind of not really what I wanted to do. Now, I was a user of Arbonne products for a fair while. It helped me out while I was pregnant with Cooper because I had no energy, I had horrendous skin. So I started using a skincare range, and it was actually Wayne's suggestion. And he sort of went, well, why don't you just try selling this? And I thought, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds really great. So that's what I started doing. It was more of a hobby, I admit, around 2 young kids. Constantly at hospital appointments, the constant fears and worries and the Googling of what all these medical terms meant. So for sort of 3 years, it was a hobby. brought in a bit of pocket money that I probably then spent again. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of a hobby. But then when the kids sort of started going to school, when Evie started school last year, the appointments were still coming thick and fast for her. But I kind of realised that actually Cooper was due to start school this year, and he had started last month, that I actually had more time on my hands. And then I was met with this conundrum. Do I then go part-time and find something during school hours, or do I get over myself and actually give this business a go? And I've decided to give this business a go. And within 1 month of deciding to give it a go, I promoted to the first level of district manager, promoted out my first district manager. So I am now an executive, and I am completing area manager this month. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell.
And do you know what, Nina? I love that, because there'll be so many people either watching this live or watching it on playback that are thinking, is an Arbonne business for me or not? And I have conversations with people on a daily basis that are thinking, is it for me? I'm not sure. Can you answer my questions? And for some people, they do just want a hobby, and they're worried about, is there targets? Have I got to do a certain amount of sales? And I'm like, if you just want to do it as a hobby, there is no targets. You literally just get your £30 account that lasts you a whole year, although it's actually free this month, but ordinarily £30 in English sterling. And then anything that anybody buys from your website, you get paid 35%. So I'll say to them, if you just want to do this as a hobby, you don't need to get onto the trainings, you don't need to go to the annual conference. Like, if you just want to dip your toes in the water, that's absolutely fine. And then you don't set yourself any targets. But if you're somebody, and we'll talk about you taking this from a hobby to a business, if you're somebody that wants this as a serious business, then we can teach you how to do that. There are trainings every week. There's an annual conference, there's a system that we have that you can follow, and you can turn this little thing into this ginormous business, which is what I did from day dot. Let me know in the comments if you have an Arbonne business, and if you originally got your account for a customer, or because you wanted this as a hobby, or if you joined from day one to build a serious business. And hopefully everybody will see different people do different things. And I love that about Arbonne. There's no one hat, this is how it has to be. Like, there's several different hats for different types of people. So let me ask you this, Nina. You use the products as a customer, and you did the business as a hobby, a little bit of extra money every week. When we went into like lockdown this year, and obviously everything changed for everybody, your family situation changed, obviously with Wayne's business, having to then be at home, being on furlough. What was it you saw in this business that made you go, do you know what? I'm going to stop this as a hobby and take this to the next level. Like, where were you thinking? What was your thoughts with that?
My thoughts were all over the place, because a lot happened all at once, even before lockdown happened. So Wayne's actually self-employed, so we had no furlough. And Wayne's place of business, so he is a personal trainer, fitness consultant, boxing coach, and he rented a studio space, so he was self-employed. The studio that he worked out of completely closed. It didn't survive lockdown, which is so sad, because this has happened to so many businesses. So Wayne lost his place of work. And obviously, being in a fitness industry, he wasn't allowed to work at all for quite some time. And he is now having to work outdoors, which in this weather isn't great. Anyway, I digress. So a lot happened. It became quite aware at the beginning of the year, so towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, that actually our youngest son, Cooper, has a lot of additional needs and support that he needs as well. So we were going through quite a lot of a difficult stage of trying to get him into the system for assessments and support. And it was just such a long process that we looked at going privately. And I nearly fell off my chair when I saw the prices of going privately. Now, this is alongside Evie, who has physical needs and needs a lot of equipment and support, just to get up and about. And as thankful as I am for the NHS, and then during these times they were stretched so thin, it wasn't enough. So we were looking at private assessments for Cooper and private equipment for Evie, and it was going into the thousands and thousands every month. So when you're looking at doing that and you're thinking, okay, well, if we start putting this money aside and we start doing this, then we can help our kids. Then lockdown happened. Our salary completely and utterly disappeared. It went from, up here to zero, a big fat zero overnight. And wow, that was a hell of a shocker. And I'm so grateful for the help that there has been. And I know everyone is in so many different situations, but we did have to apply for benefit support, which has kept our head afloat, which is great. But it meant that I couldn't give the kids what they needed. So sort of over those sort of few months, I dipped into a bit of a black hole, thinking, as a parent, you're supposed to be there, you're supposed to give your child everything they need. And I couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. So then it was just like, well, I've got this business that I'm doing as a hobby that I can do for more, you know. It's like, it's crazy, because I know this business takes you so far if you dedicate your time to it. You know, it's not easy, but then again, nothing is easy. You know, if you want something, it's not going to be easy. Hard work, you know, work is hard work.
Yeah.
But I'm at home, we're all locked in the house together. I've got the time now, you know, the time that I was using as an excuse before, I now had. So yeah, I just dove straight in. So it was a really crazy 6 months. And when you're in that sort of black hole where you're feeling really like, you know, you're just not good enough to give what you need to your family, when you've got the community there supporting you and actually picking you up and helping you along as well, that is a massive thing. So definitely the community over the last sort of 6-8 months has been phenomenal, and just now actually getting over my damn self and doing the business and being able to actually contribute to family is pretty darn amazing. So yeah,
I love that. And I think with you deciding last month you were going to do this as a business, and obviously you've gone past the first level of promotion and straight into qualification for the second level, you have created this tsunami in our team. You know, our team's got hundreds of people in, but some of them are doing it as a business and some of them are doing it as a hobby. And I think when people saw you have that change from, actually, you know, a lot's happened in the last 6 months, and this year 2020, so much as it's made people realize that job security isn't a thing anymore. And we've always said for many years, people need multiple streams of income coming into their household, because if one of those income streams was to be gone, how would you survive? And for many people, they just had maybe their own income or theirs and their partner's income, and they've seen that being jeopardized this year, and now they're like, oh my gosh, how can I protect myself for the future? What if this happens again? I don't want to be in the same predicament. And I think, Nina, people have seen you just have that one little switch and change everything, and seen you just flourish like an absolute beautiful butterfly, and show that yes, if you do put the work in, you can get somewhere. And I think the best way I can describe it is like being a hairdresser. Not that I am one, because I'm certainly not, but if you were a hairdresser and you just did it because you enjoyed it, a bit of a hobby, you know, did your kids' hair, friends' hair, nothing serious, just broke even on your expenses, and then went into lockdown and thought, oh my gosh, I've lost my main source of income, but I'm skilled as being a hairdresser. All I need to do now is market myself, network, find some more clients, be really good at what I do, that people recommend me to their friends and family. And that one little switch can go from having a hobby to a business. And yes, it's effort, but it's just that one little switch, and then everything doors open everywhere. So I think lots of people are going to relate with your story, Nina. Let us know in the comments if you have been affected by lockdown this year, or the changes that have happened in 2020 and how they have affected you. So my next question is going to be product related, because you've already talked to us about the business, and the business, you're storming, Nina, you're doing incredibly well. Can you tell us a little bit about your favorite products and why?
oh god, it is so hard to choose. It really is. I mean, if people come to my house and look in my cupboards, they probably think like I've joined a cult or something, you know. Not the case at all. I just love everything. There isn't one product that I just think, oh, I could live without that, because I just need all of it. And this is what I love about Arbonne, is you do have so many wonderful direct sales companies out there, but they can very much offer either skincare or nutrition, or, you know, just makeup, you know, there's perfumes and candles, which is all fantastic. But Arbonne does everything, and that is what I love. I fell in love with the skincare. That was what got me started on this. I've never been a girly girl. I've never been into makeup. I hate wearing makeup, but I love the Arbonne makeup. And because it's like an extension of the skincare range, I know it's good. And I don't mind the kids playing with it either, because they're always in my makeup bag playing, because I'm very much, you know, I don't like chemicals on them. I don't use anything artificial or, you know, anything like that at all. And I know I'm safe with Arbonne. So that's what I absolutely love about that side. But I have to say, as a mum itself, let alone a mum of 2 toddlers, plus both with additional needs, the nutrition, oh my God, that keeps me alive, that keeps me going. So doing the 30 days, oh my God, all of us take that, and we can definitely feel it if we don't. I hide that in the kids' milk. Yeah. You know, yeah, it is 100. So Cooper has a lot of allergies as well. He's allergic to everything. So I know with the nutrition that I'm looking after myself, because it's very true what they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. But when you're a mum, you have no choice. You give everything to your family, and you do always come last. So I know with the nutrition that I've got my breakfast, I've got all my vitamins, I've got all my minerals, I've got the energy fizz sticks, which, oh my God, you know, if you haven't had them in your life, then quite frankly, you're not living. You have to have the energy fizz sticks. And I don't even think I can put it down to one. Yeah.
Here they are.
There they are. So no, the nutrition, I am a massive passion is the nutrition for me, so much so that it's taken me down a new path, and I am training to become a nutritional therapist. It all got put on hold during lockdown because I couldn't access any of my work, but yes, I am about 2/3 of the way through completing, and I'll be a level 4 nutritional therapist. So I'm really, really proud of that, and I do put that all down to the fact that the Arbonne nutrition is just by far the best I've ever had, and I've always relied on nutritional supplements. I'm a vegan. I have low blood pressure naturally, all of my family does, so I get a lot of dizzy spells. Sugar affects me very badly. I have a hormonal chronic condition, and that affects my energy levels as well. So for me, nutrition plays a massive part in our household, and especially with 2 toddlers who can be very fussy eaters as well. I know that I'm safe using this stuff with them as well. So I love everything, but it's definitely the nutrition for me. And don't ask me to pick just one product, because I can't. I really can't.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I've got one more question. So you've done a really great job at talking about Arbonne from a hobby point of view, Arbonne from a business point of view, and then the products. So my last question to you, Nina, is if we've got people watching live now or on replay, that somebody's introduced them to Arbonne, maybe it was you, maybe it was me, maybe it was somebody else in the team, and they're thinking about whether this is something for them or not, what would your advice be for those people that are kind of sat on the fence, got all the information that they need, but they're still not sure whether they want to jump in and do this?
I just think really it's a no-brainer. There's such low risk. You know, it's free this month to join, whereas it's usually only £30. And you get everything. You get your own website, you have all this training, you have support, you have community, you've got great products. But there is also security with us as well, I think. You know, if you tried it and for some reason it didn't work for you, that's fine. We have a full 45-day money-back guarantee. Now, I haven't come across another company that offers that. You can't go into Boots and take a half-used makeup back, you know. So for me, really, every excuse going, I've used it. So you're talking to the expert. No time, no money, I've got the kids, you know, the husband's self-employed, we don't have any family time, so when we do have downtime, we want to spend it with the family. You know, the additional needs side, I'm a full-time carer, you name the excuse, and I have used it. So you're talking to the expert. So if I can do it, 100% anyone else can, because I survive on about 4 hours sleep every night. You know, I pulled here, there and everywhere. So yeah, you know what, you're looking at the excuse, right? You know, if I can do it, then absolutely, there's just no harm in trying. There really isn't. There's barely any outlay. You get everything given to you. You get full support. You get the full training. You just get the love and the security and the friendship that comes with it. That for me is probably the most priceless thing of this business, is the community. Definitely 100%. So even if it's just for that, jump in and give it a go.
Woo! Thank you, Nina, so much. That was fantastic. So guys, you've watched this. Let us know if you've watched it live by writing live. If you watched it on replay, write the replay. Nina has literally shared her soul. She's talked about how she did this as a hobby and as a client as well, like a product user. She decided on the 1st of September this year, she was going to do this as a business. So you could do the same. You could say, do you know what? You know, end of October, let's do this. Let's get started. Give yourself a month like Nina did. She went all out. She was super coachable. Everything that was suggested, she was like, I'll do it. I'll do everything that's suggested. Flew past level 1, helped somebody else fly past level 1, went into qualification for level 2. Her business, she's about to complete as an area manager in any day now, literally any day. And that means that her business is willable. So heaven forbid, touch wood, anything happens to her. Her business, the income that she receives from Arbonne, her weekly paycheck and her monthly paycheck will be willed on to her loved ones, whether that's Wayne or kids, or maybe you've given it to a friend, I don't know, whoever you will your business to, Nina, that's your choice. You can will it to whoever you want. So they get that if, again, heaven forbid anything happens to you. So you could do this 2 months in, you can do this as well. And Nina's income as an area manager, life-changing, right, Nina?
100%. Even as a district manager, you know, the money that I had received this last month was quadrupled what I'd ever done it as a hobby. So yeah, I'm so excited to hit area manager. And like you say, the willable side, that is my driving force, because I do always have that fear and worry if anything, God forbid, would happen to any of us. That is definitely the biggest thing. And again, I've never known anyone else to do that. So it just goes to show how much this company actually just wants you to be happy. So yeah.
So true, so true. So if this has made your decision for you and you've gone, what have I got to lose? I'm going to be like Nina. Then just message the person that introduced you. If it was Nina, message her. If it was me, message me. If it was another consultant, message them and say, I've watched Nina's interview. Let's do this. I'm all in, and they'll be happy to help you get started. Nina, thank you so much for taking the time tonight to be with us. Thank you everybody for watching, and have an amazing rest of the month, everyone. Goodbye.